Woo!
Against all odds, we somehow made it.
100 episodes.
We're canceling the podcast after this, right?
Yeah, and a nice solid 100.
Okay. Well, Mark, if you want to start, you can do the honors here.
Can I also just start the podcast by saying I apologize for the Raw episode not going up because YouTube decided it would take, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 hours to upload it, and there was not enough time to leave it open to upload. But
how did that happen?
I don't know. YouTube's being funky. Or I gotta do something with the edits from now on.
No, that happened to me a couple days ago, honestly. YouTube, I tried to upload like a very short, like 3-minute video, and it just exploded. I sat there for hours. But welcome to the Pinfall podcast while Mark gets this ready. If you're joining us for the first time, you're joining us for our 100th episode. You're really late to this game. You're really late.
All right. Woo! Hope you all heard that.
I'm going to leave my post, come in, and I'm going to let the cat out because the cat is just standing at the fucking door, and I don't feel like playing these games today. Come on, Pete's.
We got some champagne. Hope you guys got some champagne.
I rammed the door into the cat's leg.
Oh, so sad. Oh, I got you a glass.
Thanks for my champagne glass.
That's not a champagne glass either.
But it was kind of a stem.
Champagne glasses have stems. Oh, you're locking her in here? Okay.
I'll leave the door vaguely open. She'll learn how to open a door today.
Somehow we made 100 of these episodes. Somehow.
Almost just spilled it. Well, cheers. I didn't have a headache, I'd be a little more enthusiastic, but I took something, so we'll get there. Or this will be worse.
And our 100th episode is also the debut of The Wheel. And I read off the selections to Liz, and she wasn't too keen about them. But this is just a rough version of The Wheel. We'll be changing it as we go on. But The Wheel will be a permanent mainstay on the podcast from now on. So, if you have ideas for The Wheel, leave them in the suggestion box down below, or if you're hopefully watching this on YouTube, in the comments. We are always looking for suggestions for The Wheel. And if a lot of the words on The Wheel right now look very compressed, it's because Streamlabs is very fucking weird, and it doesn't, evenly space out the words, all the words, right? So, but the choices, and we'll spin it at the start of every match. These spaces are... Well, I thought that's what you said.
Oh, we were going to spin it at the beginning of the matches, in the middle, and then at the end before best outs.
Okay. So beginning, middle, end.
I have to get some sleep tonight.
I mean, it's not going to take long to spin the wheel. It's not like last time it was like draw a wrestler.
There's some things that would require a little extra time that I just... rather split it up, at least for now.
Okay.
At least for this first return of the wheel.
Okay. Well, the cat's just standing by the door, panicking.
She's not panicking. She's...
Alright, so the spaces are safe, obviously. Spray with water, So that means I would spray Liz or vice versa. Accent, whoever gets the space has to use an accent until the next wheel spin, and the accent will be the other person's choice. Next is wear a costume. Could be a mask, could be a full costume, anything. That is up to the person who spun it.
What makes me nervous? Because I don't know what the fuck I would do. I have nothing.
And then the last one, I don't remember what I wrote down. What is that? Oh, okay. So, best of the night, no opinion. BOTN, no opinion. That basically means your opinion for best of the night does not matter. The picks for best of the night will go to the other person. Now, that doesn't. If both of us get that at different spins throughout the night, it cancels out. So basically, whoever has the most of that space, it applies to. And so one person could just run away with the whole best of the night.
One was wear a blindfold, and I straight up said that would make my life impossible.
Yeah.
So I'm basically already blindfolded, if it makes you feel any better.
Miss relies on notes.
From here, it's just shapes. It's so sad.
Let me.
But anyways, I never really fully introduced the podcast.
While you do that,
started.
Let me let the cat out real quick.
Sure. Anyways, welcome to the Pinfall Podcast. It is episode 100. We are talking about NXT tonight. I am your host, Liz. I am joined by my co-host, Mark. We have Prosecco. Mark just hit his mic.
Yep. Just smacked it.
I can't believe we made it this far, really.
Yeah.
It's almost impressive. It's probably outside of our knowledge of one of another, one of the longest things that we've had going between the two of us actively.
Yeah, I guess so.
Not to add a sour note to that in a sense, which Mark will understand, and if he doesn't, that's for the best. You're right, Pete. We've had you longer. I know.
I don't understand.
I love the cat so much.
Alright, so do you want to spin the wheel?
Not really. I feel like I have to. Alright, so how's this gonna work? Is it gonna be both of us spinning it?
It's gonna be, both of us spinning each time.
Okay. Alright. Hit me, brother.
Alright, so
Liz's cocktail.
Liz's wheel spin. There's even a nice tick to it too. Ooh. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Your opinion does not matter.
No! My opinion always matters! My opinion's really important! I've got a lot of opinions! I'm the most opinionated person on this fucking podcast!
Oof. That is rough. Why are we getting a lot of dropped frames right now?
It's Pete's fault.
Is
Does it have something to do with the wheel?
Huh?
Does it have something to do with the wheel?
It probably has something to do with the internet. Because it started doing it when I first started the podcast. I restarted it after switching servers. It was fine for a bit, and now it's getting pretty bad.
Not good, Marcus.
Not good at all.
But would it be our 100th episode if there was not some sort of technical difficulty?
Yeah, I guess so. Alright. And now my wheel spin. to do an accent the whole time now. Alright, give me an accent to do.
I make you do Scottish, because you always seem to get into it.
I can't do a Scottish accent.
Yeah, I want to see a hybrid of just any English, British, United Kingdom-ish accent. I know that's what I'm going to get. A little Irish thrown in there, probably some Australian at some point. Looking up like pronunciation guides.
No. Alright. I'll get to it in the podcast, so let's move on. First spin of the wheel. Alright, it's done.
Oh, okay. This is already going to be fun for me. Because I know when I get the accent, I'm going to be mad. I don't like doing accents. I should be like really drunk to do an accent, and I'm not really drunk. Let's go into the news, huh?
Yeah? I didn't realize you were waiting on my permission.
Oh, I didn't realize that you had an American accent.
Sorry.
It was almost Canadian.
Sorry.
Okay. Alright, let's see. I've got to make my screen a little bit bigger here. Shit. Oh. Jesus Christ. Take that for drop fucking frames. Alright, let's see. Let's talk about news. It's not really news. Impact actually held their main event for their No Surrender pay-per-view. It is Rich Swann versus Tommy Dreamer. Felt as a wrestling podcast, I should mention that. Good luck to those two men. Oh god, okay. I don't know where to start. There's so much shit. Let's start with Cameron Grimes. So, if you were to go onto Twitter at this given moment and look up Cameron Grimes in the search bar on Twitter and not click his profile, just hit search.
Mm-hmm.
Go to latest. You would probably, I assume, find a slew of screenshots from 2012 where Cameron Grimes used the N-word multiple times, the F-word multiple times. Now that we discussed this, I'm not sure what to say here, but the R-word. And not the derogatory term R-word. The act of violence R-word. That's one way to put it. Which, to be fair, as somebody I saw online put it, it's not shocking that he's said like this. It's more shocking that it's taken people this long to find it. Not great. I'm pretty sure that has nothing to do with the reason why we have not seen Cameron Grimes on TV in the last couple of months now, I think.
Since Halloween Havoc. What?
You're not doing good with this accent thing, man.
Sorry, I keep forgetting. Sorry, I keep forgetting.
There you go. Channel your Drew.
I'm trying to channel Finn Balor.
That's, yeah, okay. Not Scottish, but good enough.
He's not Scottish?
He's Irish.
That might be why I'm screwing it up.
Yeah, he's from the same county that my ancestors are from. Means we should be best friends. Yeah, kind of sucks, kind of sad. I don't particularly enjoy when wrestlers like turn out to be racist, or at least insanely ignorant to the point where you may as well be racist.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. Also makes me a little worried about the Dexter Lumis and Bob Stone angle, but I'm gonna let that one fit.
Like I've said already, these tweets were made when he was 18 and living in North Carolina. Knowing some young person from that area, it's very expected for him to say stuff like this. He's 27 now, and it happened in 2012. Also, welcome, Mike.
Well, he's still. Oh, hi, Mike. I was just gonna say that he still should have deleted the tweets.
He should have.
I feel like if you're a public figure at this point, it's if you know that it's probably something you said, just there's an advanced search feature where you can search your Twitter for very specific terms. Just do that.
To be fair, I've gone back on my Twitter many times to try and go to my old tweets, and it only shows so far. It doesn't let me go back past like 2017 or something. Maybe 2016.
Oh, see, mine let me go all the way to the beginning. But what I did to do that was I set the time span so that it was starting from this day, ending on the end of the year. I only had a year's worth of tweets to pull from.
So, also he might have deleted the tweets, but somebody could have screenshotted them before he deleted them. He could have deleted them at his start in WWE, but somebody screenshotted them when he was coming up in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Also, does that mean I can't do To the Moon from now on?
Until further notice, unfortunately, I think you're barred from that saying.
Also, Mike, you missed our wheel spinning segment. And we're up to 43% dropped frames. I'm considering restarting the podcast and just lowering the bitrate a bit. I think that might be the problem.
Do you want to do that before I get into my next piece of news?
Yes, I will. We're going to restart the stream real quick. Don't go anywhere. It'll be right back in no time. Just a couple seconds. Alright, we're back. We'll see how that lasts. Hopefully it's much better. We're at 6,000 bitrate, so I lowered it to 2,000. Hopefully that will last us till the end of the podcast.
Okay. Anywho. Alright, so I guess let's keep going on with problematic people in WWE. Ignoring the fact that people are suddenly all up Nia's ass about when she chokeslammed Dana, it looked dangerous, and it's like, well, that wasn't really Nia's fault. And Nia's had so many other instances where you could have gotten up her fucking ass about shit. Like, this is the hill you're dying on? This one? There's other hills that are significantly smaller?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it is and isn't Nia's fault. I mean, I think it's the same thing from the last time. I think it was either Mandy or Dana that got injured, and after Nia slung them into the ropes. I think it was Mandy. It's like it's a cooperation effort. Dana should have tucked her head. I don't know. Reddit also loves to hop on the Fire Nia train.
The thing is it's like, the chokeslam wasn't pretty, but I don't really care about moves that aren't pretty as long as nobody dies, and it's not, like, ridiculously bad.
It had force. But, like, it had a lot of force to it.
It did, but also Dana should have tucked her chin. That's like the one thing that they tell you when you're training. It's like number one, tuck your fucking chin. Otherwise, your head's gonna bounce back and you're gonna concuss yourself.
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, I'm more likely to jump on Dana's ass than I am to Nia's. Done Nia enough. On to the actual news piece. Stupid fucking Matt Riddle.
Oh no! What did he do?
He didn't do anything. He did what you told about. So stupid Matt Riddle wants to have a ass fucking fight pit fight at Royal Rumble with fucking stupid Bobby Lashley. Stupid part outside of everything. I don't think Matt Riddle really understands that the fight pit is not a Matt Riddle thing. It's not just an NXT thing. It's you fought Timothy Thatcher, and that's why you got the fight pit.
Riddle is a clout chaser. He's just trying to gain some clout. That's all he's trying to do with the fight pit.
Apparently somebody mentioned, like, somebody asked him, like, who he would like his dream match.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I really want to fight Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar's not interested in fighting me. And I was like, idiot. Brock Lesnar would kill you. You're so skinny.
And there's no reason for Brock Lesnar to fight him. I mean, I'm sure anybody would love to fight Brock Lesnar, unless you're Randy Orton. But it's like everyone loves to...
You want a lobotomy?
Everyone would love to wrestle The Undertaker or The Rock. It's like, yeah, these are... it's dreams, you know? It's their dream match.
The idea that he's like, I could do a fight pit without Timothy Thatcher. It's like, no, honey, because the only consistent in the fight pit at this point has been Timothy Thatcher and Timothy Thatcher winning. So unless it's going to be you, Bobby, and Tim, it's not for you, baby cakes.
Yeah. Who was it who responded to him? Somebody responded to him. Who?
Damien.
Damian Priest said that it's a NXT exclusive stipulation. He should go to the what was it? Also, Mike, since you are just joining us, we brought back the wheel. I spun to get an accent, and Liz spun the option that her opinion for best of the night does not matter. So, unless I get that option in the next 2 times that we spin, I will be the one picking the bests of the night. Also, yeah, the exact tweet was, that's an NXT exclusive, bruh. You can fight inside the Punjabi prison. Which is a thing the Great Khali did.
I just want to quickly say, your accent is morphing from Australian to like posh, like English boy, and it's throwing my brain.
Cheerio.
What did I do? Your accent should have been a man who also doesn't have an opinion for best of the night. Should have chosen that.
You're very funny. Miss actually doesn't have an opinion.
Anyways, speaking of having opinions, WrestleMania is apparently going to be a parade of former stars. And let me tell you one fucking thing. That is the last thing I want. The last thing I want. I don't want a Raw Legends night, but 2 nights in a row for 4 hours each. I don't want that. I want my boys and my ladies. Andrade.
I miss Andrade.
And burn it down Seth Rollins.
Oh, yeah. Seth Rollins. I want him back.
George!
But,
Take me to pussy.
Nobody understands that joke. To them, you just said, take me to pussy, out of context. Nobody understood that reference. You can smile all you want, it doesn't make you any less of a weirdo, whose opinion does not matter.
anyways, you're such a bitch when you're English. I'm glad you're having. I'm not. Finally, let's discuss some stuff. Let's just discuss something. A couple things.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, really. So, as you know, every other fucking week or two, I have to talk about Ryback.
You don't have to.
I swear to God, I'm going to shove your champagne glass up your bumhole.
I'm just saying, you pick the news. You pick what to talk about. You don't have to talk about Ryback.
But he says shit. He says shit, and then I have to talk about it. Because what else is the news? This was such a slow news day that I was like sitting there like scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. I was like, well, Ryback did something.
But you don't have to talk about it. You could just choose not to.
Well, I'm going to. I am an unbiased deliverer of
You
the
are
news.
anything but unbiased, alright?
I gave you Cameron Grimes bad news. How's that, bitch?
Unbiased would just be delivering the fact, not saying it's bad news.
Shit. I'm Brian Williamsing myself. Fuck.
They're gonna call you the Tucker Carlson of wrestling.
Anyways, so every couple of weeks, Ryback does something that I have to report on because what else am I fucking doing with my life? I run a podcast and I talk to my cat like she's a person. Anyways, so as people know, Ryback has said some dumb shit in the past, I don't know, 6 months, probably longer than that. I'm just summarizing here. Ryback accidentally talked shit a time too many. When he said that John Cena wouldn't fight him because John Cena thought he was hot shit. To which Mark Henry then said, no, John Cena wouldn't fight you because you're dangerous as shit in the ring. Then Mark Henry took it a step further after Ryback said that he was probably going to sign with AEW soon. And said, man, I really hope AEW doesn't look at him and think that he's not a horrible human being. To which Ryback said, I'm calling my lawyer.
Can I just say, calling Ryback a horrible human being is going a bit too far. You could just call him an asshole. He's an asshole. I wouldn't put him at horrible human being status just yet. Cameron Grimes right now is a little higher than...
Ryback has not committed any war crimes. However, despite of not committing any war crimes, he's a jackass. How's that?
Yeah, perfect.
So Ryback has now threatened Mark Henry with a lawsuit, I guess, for stating his opinion on he thinks that Ryback's a jackass and AEW shouldn't hire him, and he's saying that it's slander, and he's going to fucking sue Mark Henry now. And
is this kayfabe? I wonder if this is kayfabe.
If this is kayfabe, Ryback and Mark Henry aren't getting paid for it, so... You know what? Passion, baby. It's all about passion.
Real quick, where was Mark Henry's response when Hulk Hogan said that nobody... or everyone looks weirdly backstage? Where was Mark Henry to say, no, it's actually because you're an open racist?
Let's see if he said anything, because I did not... Mark Henry on what he said to Hulk Hogan about his racist comments.
Oh, alright. I take back what I said.
He said... I wasn't going to roll out the red carpet and start going to have dinner with him if he wasn't willing to do all that shit that I said he needed to do in terms of taking back what he said and understanding why it was bad. To start, he needs to go to some of these black universities, to these law students, and let them grill him and own it and apologize. Not because you got caught, but apologize. It's a whole thing. So Mark Henry did say something. Furthermore, I love Mark Henry. It just reminds me of like a Reddit thread where it's like, oh God, what was it? It was like this guy who was like getting bullied by some kids online. He was like, I'm a 5-year veteran or something like that. Like, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm getting my lawyer.
It was
and
Navy
like
SEAL or something. I'm a Navy SEAL. I'll kill you.
That's just what this reminds me of. I feel like I'm like sitting in a Reddit thread and I'm like, what are you saying right back? You don't have a case?
Can we just like cut to hey, John, can we cut to that clip of Ryback screaming in main event? No? Alright. Well, John doesn't want to cut to that, so I guess we won't play the video.
Thanks, John. Bitch. Anyways. So, like, you got any news? Our cat got poop on the rug for the second time in 1
Alright,
week.
so moving on. Let's move on to our matches and promos.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come in there and get more Prosecco. I'm running low.
Okay.
I drink Prosecco way too fast.
Are we spinning the wheel again before matches and promos?
I did ask you if we could spin the wheel after the news instead of before the news, but now here we are.
So, well, we spin it 3 times. You said one in the middle. Wouldn't it be easier to just do it before every section?
Okay. I remember where the middle is tonight, but if you want to just do it before every section, we can.
Alright. So, we're going to spin the wheel again.
Did you just down your glass?
What?
Did you just down your glass?
No.
Oh. The way it looked in the corner of my eye.
Alright, so because it's next time spin the wheel, I don't have to do the accent anymore, but Liz still does not have an opinion. And now we spin the wheel again. Just a reminder, our choices are safe, spray with water, accent, wear a costume, and best of the night, no opinion. And here goes Liz's spin. Actually, you spun first last time. I'll take the first spin this time. Let's go. Oh, I got safe.
Imagine you get no opinion, I get an accent.
I got safe.
Oh, come on. You stole my spin.
Don't say that. It's best to alternate. Alright.
Spin.
Here we go. And if you have choices for the wheel, please put them down below. Ooh, you have an accent now.
No! Then we're spinning in the middle of this because I can't do an accent this whole time with the notes.
Oh, come on. I'll give you something easy.
You had to do an accent for like 20 minutes.
I'll give you something easy. Okay? Are you ready?
No! I want to do it in the middle. I want to do a roll in the middle.
Fine, we'll do another spin.
Thank you.
Wuss. Alright, so your accent is Dennis Reynolds doing a Philadelphian accent.
I don't know how to go.
Philadelphia!
It's just Boston.
Yeah, it's
You
Boston,
just put a
pretty
Boston
much.
accent.
Yeah. How about them apples?
All right.
Sound like Woody Harrelson.
I was gonna say it sounded more like what's his face, curly hair dude.
Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh fuck. Okay, let me come get more Prosecco before I start this nightmare.
Okay.
Also, we will spin after the Grizzled Young Vets match. That's when we hit an hour, I believe.
Okay.
Or before. Let me just see where it falls. Yeah, no, it was after because that's like this. It's before. Sorry. Hey.
And again, if you have ideas for the wheel, for spots on the wheel or some new stuff we can do with the wheel, either put them in the suggestion box down below the stream or in the comments on YouTube. Ideally, this will go up on YouTube.
Make one of them.
Gift a subscription?
Or one of us can subscribe. Yes.
Oh yeah, we could do like gift a subscription. First one to chat in the say something in the chat gets the subscription.
Okay, I'm about to knock this up.
We gotta make emotes too.
Isn't that a hairy job?
No, I can make emotes. Splucha gave me an idea for emotes using wrestlers' faces. Because he is a biggie emote.
Okay.
Alright. So yeah.
Okay.
Do your Dennis Reynolds doing Philadelphian accent. Philadelphia. Yeah,
So,
right.
Alright, let me take a tester here. You can correct me.
Okay.
Killian Dain. Does that work?
Alright, yeah, that Killian
I'm trying to
Dain.
scrunch my nose on him. Killian Dain.
Yeah, like you really got an itch in your nose. Eh.
And Drake Maverick.
What? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that
Maverick?
sound is. No, Maverick.
Maverick. I'm going a little Minnesotan on this.
Maverick. Drake Maverick.
God, how am I gonna do all my notes with this if I need you to like help me?
You gotta like scrunch up your cheeks. Drake Maverick.
Drake Maverick.
Okay. All right. let's just try it. We'll see how you do.
Versus MSK.
Oh God. This is painful.
So, to start,
It's like every word you start laughing.
I'm not getting through this.
You're not.
To start, we have Killian and Drake's new song.
You're doing great. You actually you sound great.
Thank you. We have Killian and Drake's new song.
And you just sound English.
Which I like a lot. I don't know. Can you go with me and like actually comment on the things I'm saying? Did you like it too?
I did. It's like a combination of like what Drake pitched their song to be and Killian style. It's like a fusion. And I loved how they started in the ring too. Did you see how they started? Drake was like sprinting circles around Killian. And then bounced off the ropes and jumped onto Killian's back.
They're so cute together. So we start the match with Wes and Drake. We start with a headlock on Wes. Oh God, I'm dropping syllables now. Fuck. So it's frames, now it's syllables. Wes turns it around, twisting Maverick's arm. We get Nash Carter in after that. Wes kicks Drake in the head. Get a funky little X-Pac, sort of, senton onto Drake from Mr. Nash. Wes then springboard sentons onto Mr. Maverick. Senton was onto Maverick, by the way. I think I said Nash. Like perpetually like this.
Always smiling.
Drake then avoids a drop kick from Mr. Nash Carter. We get Killian, Dain in. He takes Mr. Drake Maverick into his arms and he throws him into Nash Carter. Drake gets back in. He is used to trip Mr. Nash Carter. There's after that, Killian falls onto the now prone Nash Carter. Drake is then thrown down onto Nash Carter by Killian. Killian is then the legal man. There's a pump kick to Carter. Wes comes in to try to break it up, but he isn't really needed because Nash kicks out long before Wes gets in the fucking ring. Carter avoids being dropped by Killian. A kick upside the head from Wes Lee to Killian and a drop kick to Killian from Mr. Carter. Wes goes up top and Killian sends him right down to the fucking ground. Wes then punches Killian Dain, who punches him right back, and we get him slammed into the ground before Killian sentons onto him. We then have Drake Maverick back in. Wes launches Maverick and gets Carter in. Into film noir there.
Carter.
Gets Mr. Carter in. I still want to have to do a North American accent. I can do that. I can go full film noir for you.
Oh God.
And we get a knee strike and a knee under the jaw, leg sweep and a kick to the chest. Nash Carter fucking drop kicks Killian, who falls like a sack of potatoes off the fucking apron. There's then a flying moonsault that is assisted by Mr. Wesley from Mr. Nash Carter. It's the most unfucking necessary move, but it's a move. It's a move, goddammit. Killian jumps in to protect Mr. Drake Maverick. Carter moonsaults onto Killian ringside to eliminate the threat. Wes uppercuts Drake. Nash Carter gets in. We get an assisted blockbuster from Mr. Nash and Mr. Wesley onto Mr. Drake Maverick to win. Fucking ridiculous move. Very happy that MSK is moving on. Thank you.
I was kind of shocked when they won this. I thought this would definitely go to Killian and Drake.
As did I. I was surprised, but at the same time, it seems like they're trying to push MSK a bit.
Yeah.
Killian and Dain are just kind of like a pickup tag team.
You just sound southern at this point.
No. I'm falling apart over here.
After that, we are treated to a lovely Kurt Stallion interview where he just talks about going for the Cruiserweight Championship. Nothing really special, just that, it's special. And then we have the next Dusty Rhodes Classic tournament match between Aliyah and Jessi Kamea versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez.
And I hope you're really happy because Leah's here. You're spending half a year in the fucking dark. Finally get Aliyah back.
We thought of you as soon as Aliyah came on.
I said, I hope Mike's having a good night. So, we start with Raquel and Aliyah. Raquel drops Aliyah face first on the canvas. And we get Jessi Kamea in, who gets up onto Raquel's back. There's a missed drop elbow from Raquel. Kamea drop kicks Raquel after that. We get Dakota in. Jessi Kamea is basically lawn darted into the ground. Before there was a drop elbow onto her, we get Aliyah back in. Really going full southern on this one. Aliyah fucking, I guess, bulldogs Dakota?
Yeah.
I think.
That's right. Yeah.
It wasn't like a bulldog, but it was close enough to being a bulldog.
It was a bulldog. Yeah.
There's a boot to the face of Dakota. Dakota goes up on the ropes, and Aliyah poops on out of there. She's taken safety by Raquel. Dakota does a nice little pump kick to Aliyah. Raquel gets back in. There's basically a deep six to Aliyah. Don't call it anything, but it's a deep six. Dakota is now the legal man. There's a boot across the jaw to Aliyah. Raquel is back in. She spears Aliyah in the corner. There's a one-handed hip toss. It was very fucking attractive. I'm just going to say that and break the accent right now. That was fucking hot as shit. Just one. She then gets Dakota, and she drops Miss Kai boot first into Aliyah. Dakota is legal at that point. Jessi gets in. There's not much that happens there. Raquel gets it. Raquel then just clotheslines the absolute piss out of Miss Kamea. And with a spinebuster to Kamea, Raquel and Dakota win. Jessi Kamea might be dead. Not so sure.
Also, in a little bit of breaking news from 3 hours ago, Shaquille O'Neal challenged Cody Rhodes to a match in March.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that's fun. Anyway, after that, we have an interview with The Way. I will be totally honest. I wasn't paying attention to what this interview was. Not paying attention in the slightest. All I know is at the end, Johnny snaps at Austin Theory and said, "You can't say that name," referring to Kushida. Implying that he's going to be going for the title too. And then we have a little bit of Scarlett Bordeaux. Is it Bordeaux or Bordeaux? Liz?
Bordeaux.
Okay. A little bit of Scarlett Bordeaux doing a tarot reading for us. That's really it. She just did a tarot reading, showed us a card, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, whatever. And then we have Tyler Rust versus some guy named Rios.
We literally have no fucking clue what happened here. I just called the man Nick Jonas for most of it. We get a cute little Malcolm Bivens promo right at the beginning, though. I love Mr. Bivens. He's a cutie pie. We get an arm drag to Rust and an elbow to Nick Jonas. Tyler Baszler Rust comes through with the elbow stomp. He begins wrenching Mr. Jonas's arm before twirling him around and dropping him. It was unnecessary. I loved it. Nick Jonas gets Mr. Rust tripped up and rolls him up. There's a backslide to Rust. Rust goes for DDT, but is put right into the team. He drives Mr. Jonas into the buckles. There's an uppercut and a boot to the face to Mr. Nick Jonas. Rust twists Nick Jonas's arm back all the way, and he taps. Good job, Mr. Rust. Proud of you.
Yeah, and the whole match was started because Malcolm Bivens was like, you can't start off with somebody like Bronson Reed. You gotta work your way up, make some money, start with some lower matches, you know? And he was right. After that, we're treated to a Kushida and Leon Ruff vignette. They're just giving voiceovers about and what this means to them being in the Dusty Rhodes tournament. And that's really it. It's just your typical, like, before a big match VO. Then we have an interview with Finn Balor. And before a question could even be asked, Kyle O'Reilly walks in and asks him, "Can I trust you?" And I don't remember what Finn said, but it was probably ominous. And then we move on to Grizzled young vets walking out to Leon and Kushida already in the ring, and they for some reason have a mic in their hands and they're just talking shit to them. Yeah, and then we start the match.
Spin that funky wheel, brother.
Oh, we're doing it before. Okay. Alright, let's spin the wheel. We'll start with your spin this time. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hi.
You have to get sprayed with water.
Oh, I'm not a cat.
You gotta get sprayed with water.
Oh. Take my AirPods out?
What?
Should I take my AirPods out?
You should, yeah.
Oh.
Where's the bottom we use spray?
Hair over it. My hair over it. Can't get wet. This is dense hair. Did I not get sprayed right in the face?
I wasn't gonna spray you on the face, I was gonna spray you on the side. I don't want to spray the laptop or the sign.
That was nothing.
So,
I don't like this degradation. Yes, it's on. He barely got me.
Okay. Alright. And now my spin. Oh, fuck. Another accent. Alright, give me one.
Let's do German. Honor of Imperium for me.
I wanted you to say Russian, because I do a good Russian accent, not so much a good German accent.
I'm not here to make things easy for you.
Okay. Fuck, I can't do a good one. Alright, just start going and I'll work on an accent.
Fair enough. Alright, so we have Grizzled Young Vets versus Leon and Kushida. We start with Kushida versus Mr. Zach Gibson. Kushida is far too fast for Zach Gibson, and this makes Zach Gibson very fucking mad. There's an assisted protection, I guess is what you could call it, at the buckle by Mr. James Drake as Zach is whipped into it. Drake is then the next man tagged him. There's a spinning heel kick to Kushida from James Drake. Ruff is tagged in after that. Ruff is sent to the apron where he chops at James Drake. Ruff acts like a little fucking cat on the ropes before drop kicking Drake. Kushida is back in. We get a team breaking of Mr. Drake's arms, then his knees, and then a team drop kick, which didn't look fun. Ruff is then the legal man. He goes off the top rope, down onto Drake's wrist. There's a Hurricane Rana off the top rope to Drake. James Drake sends Ruff down onto his arm. There's a cheap shot to Kushida. He manages to get Gibson in. We get a team powerbomb attempt from Grizzled Young Vets. Ruff goes up and over into Kushida's arms. Kushida is now the legal man. Ruff goes in off the top rope with an RKO to James Drake, I believe. Drake goes over the top rope, strapping an elbow onto Leon Ruff. Was brought down into a backbreaker by Mr. Gibson after the commercial break. We then get an RKO to Gibson. James Drake gets in. He stops Leon from tagging Kushida, and there's an elbow back to Mr. Drake to get Kushida in. Off the top rope, down onto Drake goes Mr. Kushida. There's, as we often get, and it's always much more exciting than when fucking Jeff Hardy does this shit, as I say every single time. We get the inverted atomic drop, a hip toss, a cartwheel, a drop kick, and a second drop kick just for good measure. At that point, I was like, I get it, Kushida. Okay, you don't have to hurt him. Kushida goes for the double underhook suplex, but James Drake manages to wiggle out of it. We get Gibson back in. Kushida is not bothered by this. He gets an octopus hold on Gibson, who slowly powers out, only to send the double chop down to Kushida's throat. James Drake gets back in. Gibson lifts Kushida and Drake off of the top rope. Gibson lifts Kushida. James Drake goes off the top rope with a flying clothesline that just sends fucking Kushida inside out. There's a ticket for mayhem attempt with Gibson, but instead it turns into a double back elbow to the two British folk. Ruff gets in. There's a missile drop kick from Ruff to Gibson. He dives out onto James Drake, then dives off the top buckle onto Gibson. Ropes to Gibson. Ruff goes onto the top rope. He goes for a senton, but Gibson isn't home. Gibson fucking left by way of James Drake pulling him free from the fucking ring. Drake, he takes it off the apron. There's a ticket to mayhem. Leon Ruff is crumpled, down and out. The Young Vets win. After they celebrate their win, which, by the way, I didn't think that they were going to win this match.
Yes, I didn't think that either. I thought Kushida and Leon would win because of their promo.
That's fair. Fair point. After Grizzly Young Vets win, they walk away, and just as they do it, Johnny Gargano and Triple Question Mark come out and attack Leon Ruff and Kushida because now they're free game. And as Triple Question Mark is beating, well, kind of just holding Leon Ruff back, sweet, sweet ally of the people, Dexter Lumis, says, "This man smells like a rat. And I'm a cat, and I don't like rats." And then Dexter Lumis says the exact same thing that I yell at the cat for, which is, stands there, wide open eyes, looking up, ducking down, and then moving his head a little bit. And I was like, that's our fucking cat. Like, that's fucking Pepita. Exactly. Got it.
Anyway, after that, we have Mr. Kurt Stallion is beaten up backstage by somebody. It is assumed to have been Legado, but there is nobody to be seen and nobody to testify for the Legado group. So we go to another interview with Legado. And before anybody can say anything, William Regal comes in, just pissed off, starts screaming at Legado, something we have never seen before from Mr. Willie Reegs. He's shouting gibberish the whole time. I thought he was going to shout just Raw games, Raw games, Raw games over and over. He might as well have been shouting that. It was on that level of shouting.
I have never seen this man this fucking angry. And this is the guy who gets fucking pestered all the time by a bunch of assholes who are like, set up this match for me. And Will's just like, I don't really feel like it. That seems stupid. I'm not gonna do that. He has to put up with fucking Everrise, and he keeps a calm face. And all of a sudden, Legado do something. He's like, fuck! I was like,
He crosses the line when somebody beats up another wrestler backstage. This is no main roster where assault and battery is acceptable or encouraged.
I just like the idea of Willie Riggs being like, "That's my boy. That is my little fucking son. How dare you touch him?"
After that, we has Toni Storm in the ring. She wants to hurt Io and takes the title. I thought because that the match, the Cruiserweight Championship match, was cancelled. Also, I completely glossed over something in that interview. First of all, they will be defending the title next week, the Cruiserweight Championship. But at the end of the interview, Santos on his bag finds a card that Scarlett left on the same tarot card that Scarlett was reading off, was found on his bag, which is very interesting. It would be very weird for Karrion Kross to go after Santos. It would seem very much out of nowhere. Liz, you said people were implying that it would be Jordan Devlin coming to NXT.
Yeah, so some people, because people were saying, there's no way in hell that Karrion Kross is anything resembling a cruiserweight. So there's no way that he wants the fucking title. So unless they're really embracing this like sudden urge to do intergender matches, which I would rather call mixed matches because the other intergender has different meanings, but unless they're suddenly really embracing mixed matches, I don't think Scarlett's challenging for it. So some people were just saying that, like, the card means something along the lines of, like, a certain future or something like that. I don't feel like looking it up, but basically some people are saying, oh, this might mean that Jordan Devlin's coming back because we just got Alexander Wolf coming back. So maybe, and I just said, because someone, like, this was on Tumblr, and someone first mentioned Karrion Kross, and then someone else mentioned Jordan Devlin, and I was just like, it's literally just as bad. Like,
It wouldn't make sense. Why would Scarlett be predicting Jordan Devlin? Why would she care about Jordan Devlin coming? It wouldn't make sense.
I think she cares about unsettling everybody. I think her idea is that if she causes enough friction in the entire NXT locker room,
yeah, I
it's
get
going to leave people distracted and goes to attack.
I get that, which is why I think it isn't for Jordan Devlin, but it's just a warning to Santos. He might not be going for the title, just a warning because he might beat him up. Yeah, it might not necessarily be for the title.
I guess it's more so just like one of those things where, and it could have something to do with the fact that Santos did, in no uncertain terms, suggest that he was going after the NXT championship.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that was glossed over a lot on the internet and has since been glossed over because he did say that. And if there's one person who's been fucking chomping at the bit for that fucking title, it's Karrion.
I think a gauntlet is coming. A gauntlet because you have Santos who wants to go after the title, you have Karrion, you have Pete Dunne. I'm sure there are some others who would love to go for it. They might bring in Andrade for it as well. Or Cameron Grimes might come back for it. I feel like I'm doing a French accent right now. A mix
You kind of are.
mix of German and French. But yeah, I have a strong feeling that we'll get a gauntlet. maybe at the next takeover, where the gauntlet will be the gauntlet will be for takeover. The championship match will happen at takeover. The gauntlet prior. But yeah, I don't think it's any foreboding for the title. It wouldn't make sense. Jordan Devlin being predicted by Scarlett wouldn't make sense.
That makes sense. I don't want to see that fucker on TV.
Yes,
especially for 1 hour.
Especially since he has a story on NXT UK as it is. It wouldn't make sense for him to come over.
His whole story on NXT UK right now is quite literally just he's technically interim cruiserweight title holder. Or rather, Santos is, I think, supposed to be the interim cruiserweight title holder because that's why they were fighting for that title in the first place back when we first started watching NXT.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't care for this reproduction of the NXT title or cruiserweight title. Pisses him off or something. And I was like, yeah, but also what pisses me off is having to see you every Thursday talking shit like this.
Mm.
Oh.
But after that, I let's get back to what we were talking about before. Toni Storm is in the ring. She's talking about wanting to hurt Io and takes the title. Io then comes out without her jacket. I was very disappointed in the lack of fuzzy jacket. She said she'll fight Toni anywhere and at any time. And then Toni says, okay, how about right now? And they fight. Then Mercedes enters and attacks Io. Immediately after I asked, so what about Mercedes? So I can assume for that title as well, we'll be getting a gauntlet, or at the very least, a Toni versus Mercedes match. Winner challenges Io for the title. Then after that, we have an interview with Isaiah Swerve Scott. He mentions pointing the finger at him, how everyone's trying to point the finger at him, and then he asks Mackenzie to point her finger at him, and she does. He tries to sniff it, I think. Sniff it, lick it, I don't know. It was very weird. And then he said, so how many fingers do you have pointing at me? She said 1. And he said, and how many are pointing at you? And I have no clue what the fuck that means.
Yeah, the promo was so poorly delivered. I know that's a fucking saying in some sense, like somehow, somewhere along the lines, that's a saying. But when Swerve delivers that line, I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck are you talking about? Poor Mackenzie every fucking week with this shit. She has to sit there and be like, what the fuck?
But then after that, we have a very strange and foreboding Imperium vignette where we see them and how they're going to move away from dominating in one place and start dominating the world. I don't know if that is alluding to them moving entirely to the US or moving entirely to the UK. I have no clue, but they did bring up the pandemic. They brought up the pandemic because they flashed to the whole Eastern Hemisphere, and they had the pandemic logo, like the hazard sign, was all across the Americas.
I know what it means.
What does it mean?
It means soon I'm gonna get Walter back in America.
I doubt that, but we will see.
I just want my 4 little Imperium lads all standing together and Walter standing in the middle instead of Marcel because Walter's the tallest and the biggest of them. They're so cute. They're all so cute. I love them. I love them so much. And I'm sad that Alexander Wolf left the UK because there was really no he really didn't do much after they returned from like their time off before that, or after the pandemic got really bad. He didn't do much of anything really. I think he got beaten up once. So that's about 6 months worth of time not really being utilized at all. I just would like to see him get in there and fuck shit up, and I'm just so excited because I love Imperium so much.
Yes.
So much.
Yes, we get it. We get it.
Just want Martel to love me back.
Okay. Then we have, speaking of Liz's loves, we has an interview with Adam Cole and Roderick Strong, Roddy, Mr. Rodster, Roddy Piper. But
you didn't say their names right. It's Adam Cole Bebe and Roddy Bebe.
Adam Cole Bebe and Roddy Bebe.
Exactly. That's exactly how it's pronounced.
They're talking about the match next week against Thatcher and Ciampa, and they basically said that they have dealt with Ciampa many times, and they are not afraid to do it again.
This really goes to show how much of an asshole I am when it comes to brackets. I am notorious for not really getting brackets and not really understanding brackets, down to the point where I did a March Madness bracket once. I predicted a team to lose, and I predicted them to win the final game. So it's on me. I like to think it's my bisexual side coming out, but the only excuse I have.
It makes no sense.
I know, but my ass is just like, yay, undisputed era in the tournament, fun. And then I saw Timmy and Tommy getting together, and I was like, I'm sad about this, but yay, Timothy Thatcher, fun. And then I realized, oh, they have to fight each other, and I said, fuck, god dang it. I think it's because I just love too many people in NXT. I don't really love that many people in like Raw. Mm-hmm. It is just constant. It's once a month where I have to go through a period of time where I'm like, I love them both. Why must they fight each other? And now here I am, and I've got to either choose. I assume Roddy and Adam Cole are going to win.
Yeah,
I guess it's fine, because if they win, then I don't have to deal with fucking Tommaso up Timothy's ass. But also, when I get paid, I'm definitely getting a Timothy Thatcher shirt. I've finally decided.
So after that, we have Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Bronson Reed.
Damn, Prosecco's strong. And my migraine medicine's like hitting, so now all of a sudden my back just feels like it's on fire and stiff, and I'm like, this is good. This is fun. I'm having a good time. So Reed starts out just kind of slugging Swerve to fucking pieces. Swerve gets launched from the ring, lands on his feet. There's a pump kick on the apron to the jaw of Reed and a stomp on the head of Reed. He goes for another, but Reed catches him and kind of flings him down, landing Swerve noggin first on the fucking apron. Reed then dumps Swerve out of the ring a second time before diving out onto him. And I said, Bronson, I think you crushed his cervical nerve. I think we could just chill a little bit for like 5 seconds. Let him get a feeling back in his arms. I don't know, man.
No.
Bronson Reed's tired, dude. Reed then slams Swerve backwards as he attempts the rolling flatliner. It was very fucking funny because Swerve rolls across the ring, jumps up, and Bronson Reed's just like, no. Fuck off. I was like, oh, bud. Reed then manages a driver, breaking Swerve in half. He goes with a boot to the face of Swerve to keep him down. Swerve manages to roundhouse kick Reed and then jumps down onto him. Swerve slaps Mr. Reed. And then Reed headbutts him and then clotheslines him inside out. We get a tsunami to finish the fucking match. Swerve's a bit dead.
Poor Swerve. Poor Swerve.
Swerve.
Alright, so after that we have a unfortunate promo of Tommaso Ciampa with Timothy Thatcher. Timothy Thatcher. I think that's how. Yes, Timothy Thatcher.
He wrestled in Germany, so that shouldn't be too hard.
That doesn't mean his name is German. Ciampa wants to go to war with Undisputed Era. And Thatcher is down with it, I guess. I don't know. I don't get the vibe. There's no vibe. And then finally to wrap up the show, we have Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor. This is Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch.
Yes, we do. Just want to say, Timothy Thatcher, I'm in love with him. Anyways, it was... It was a very funny promo, only in the sense that, like, I kind of feel like Timothy doesn't actually like Tommaso. I really hope he doesn't. My dude fucking sits down for 5 seconds to deliver his lines. After Tommaso finishes his, Tommaso jumps up and walks away while Timothy's just sitting there. And it's just like, Tommaso, he just got to sit down. Let the man rest. You just broke your fucking leg like a week ago. Calm down. Anywho. We have Finn and Oney in first for this match. There's a shoulder tackle off the ropes to Oney and then an arm drag. Kyle tags in. Danny Burch tags in. We get a side headlock on Kyle and a shoulder tackle as well as an arm drag to Mr. Burch. There's a headlock on Kyle from Burch. Sorry. So we get a headlock on Kyle from Danny Burch. Oney gets in and they do some team chops to O'Reilly. There's an uppercut to Kyle as well. Danny gets back in. He goes for a slam, but Riley counters. Finn gets in, breaks Danny's arms. Kyle gets back in. There's an elbow to Burch and just also starts trying to break Danny's arms. Finn gets back in. He goes off the rope to chop Burch's hand. Kyle O'Reilly gets back in, does the same exact fucking thing. Oney gets in. Suddenly, he's not a legal man, but still. But Kyle O'Reilly and Balor take him down to the mat, send him out of the ring. It's funny because they did all that, and then Oney's just like walking back to his corner the long way around the ring, just like, all right, well, fuck. Danny is then also sent out of the ring by both men. We have Kyle versus Oney after the commercial break. Kyle O'Reilly turns the half and half attempt into an arm drag. He gets Balor in, who takes Danny off the apron and does a double stomp onto Oney. Oney manages to get a hold on Finn. Gets Danny in. Danny beats him up. Oney gets in. Chops Finn. Danny gets back in. He's grinding on Finn's shoulder. Oney gets in. It's a lot of fucking tagging. If you were wondering, it was a lot of tagging. Finn tries to fight free from the Oney and Danny corner. There's a double atomic drop into a leg sweep from Oney. Yeah, sure. There's an uppercut by Lorcan, but Finn manages the Pele kick in return. Balor sends some elbows to Oney to get Kyle in.
What is going on?
I think I just heard something weird from my chair, and it made me think that there was something in here. Sorry. Anyways.
Okay.
At least it's not as jumpy as Monday, okay? Anywho. Yeah. Okay, so he tries to get Kyle in. It doesn't work. He gets sent back into the Oney and Danny corner. But he manages an elbow to Danny and a sling blade to Oney. Finally gets Kyle in. Danny gets in. We get some boots to the face of Danny Burch and a trip to an intruding Oney. There's a leg sweep to Burch and a forearm. Kyle then takes Burch's arm and wrenches it. Goes for a submission hold. It doesn't quite work out. Then we get a fucking drop kick into I guess a leg bar from Kyle.
Yeah.
Then
ankle lock.
Okay, so we get a drop kick right into an ankle lock on Danny Burch, who taps within 5 seconds, full Dana Brooke style. After winning, Finn and Kyle look at each other with that face that says, I guess we respect each other now, because that's the storyline. And then Kyle points behind Finn very casually, very, very casually, just goes, hey. And Finn looks, and there's Pete. And as that happens, Oney manages to take Kyle from the ring. And they just attack the two men. But it's 2-on-3 once Kyle even gets back in. And then Adam and Roddy come in 5 years too late. And then Finn Balor says, yes, I would like to join the Undisputed Era because Bobby Fish is apparently never coming back.
Honestly, Finn is a much better replacement for Bobby Fish. Bobby QAnon Fish.
Okay, stop.
You froze before you did it. And so nobody saw it. Oh, I wish you froze again. Okay, so the wheel?
The wheel.
Thank God. Alright. So wheel time. Liz, would you like my spin to go first, or do you want your spin to go first?
You choose, buddy.
Alright, so since we're alternating, I'll go first this time. And here we go. Oh no! No! This is the worst time for this to happen! Oh, my opinion doesn't matter either, so it cancels out! Dang it! And now your turn to spin the wheel.
Watch, I get the same one.
Oh, it was so close. You got safe. Oh, so nothing matters. We're back to square one.
My favorite. This works out so perfectly for me.
Oh, man. Fuck. Okay. Alright, so bests of the night. I'm so glad I don't have to do a German accent anymore. Promo of the night. This one's gonna be a little tough for me. I feel like there were no promos that really wowed me. We had the Kurt Stallion interview, which is okay. It was just a normal sit-down interview. We had the Way interview, which I wasn't paying too much attention to. The Scarlett's tarot reading, it was weird and vague, and I don't know what to get out of it. We had the vignette with Kushida and Leon Ruff, like the cliche little pre-match stuff. We had the Finn Balor interview where Kyle walks in and just gives Finn a stare down. It was okay. We had the Grizzled Young Vets talking shit to Leon and Kushida. We had Kurt Stallion found beaten up by someone assumed to be Legato. We had Legado interview, which was broken up by Willie Reeks. Featured the Scarlet Card. This one was great just because we got Willie Reeks screaming at the top of his lungs. Then we had Toni Storm in the ring, where she calls out Io, starts fighting Io. Then Mercedes comes in, starts fighting Io, and then Toni. Everyone's fighting. That was okay. We had an interview with Swerve. This was just fucking weird. We had the Imperium vignette, which is vague, but it's interesting. We had the Adam Cole and Roddy interview, which was, same old. Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher promos. That was okay because, Ciampa didn't really say anything of importance, significance at all. But if I had to give it to one promo for today, I think it would be the Legado interview, just because Willie Reeks screamed at the top of his lungs when we saw angry Reeks.
Yeah, honestly, I'll choose it for angry Reeks too. I would choose the Timmy promo, but there's also Tommaso on the side.
Yeah.
I can't.
Alright, so next up we have Wrestler of the Night. So we started off with Killian Dain and Drake Maverick versus MSK. I gave this one to Nash Carter. Nash Carter looked great, very flippy, very flying. He did the flippy. He did that one move that we saw last time where you push the moonsault, whatever. It was nice. It was pretty.
So useless, but it's so good.
Yeah. Well, kind of lacking a little bit of character though. I feel like we don't get much character from them.
I think their character is literally just that Nash is kind of off his ass. Wes reins him in, and together they're goofballs.
So they're Jeff Hardy. They're early Jeff Hardy.
I think that we got a good look at their character when we got the promo last week. I thought that was a good look into them. I just honestly, I feel like it's just two bros having fun. I'm kind of down with that vibe.
Okay.
It's simple. It doesn't require a lot of effort on my part.
After that we had Aliyah and Jessi Kamea versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. I 100% am giving this one to Raquel. She just looked fucking brutal. She looked like she looked mean, like she was out for blood, but also she was just having fun. She looked like she was legitimately just having fun, beating the piss out of Aliyah and Jessi Kamea. And she did some impressive stuff too, some stuff I hadn't seen her do before. Yeah, she performed great. And then we had Tyler Rust versus Rios. I mean, fucking Tyler Rust. What else am I supposed to say? What do you want from me? And we had Grizzled Young Vets versus Leon Ruff and Kushida. I love the Grizzled Young Vets, but I do want to give this one to Leon Ruff. Leon Ruff fought his heart out in this. He looked great. He looks better than he has in most of his recent matches. He seemed less like just a gimmick and more of a wrestler that really wants something. He seems motivated, and I think his partnership with Kushida is something really beneficial to his career. I know it won't last long, especially since that partnership ended today, I think, after this match. But he looked great. He looked fantastic. Then we have Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Bronson Reed. I picked Bronson Reed. I mean, the way he's embracing the strongman wrestling and just being a big dude, much better than he did when he was in the North American Championship qualifier matches. He looked fantastic. I love the way he's been transforming himself in every way, whether it be his wrestling or his character. He's really come around, and I think he's fantastic now. And then we have Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. And I am purely picking Kyle O'Reilly just because of that last move where he grabbed Danny Burch's drop kick and immediately put it into an ankle lock. I mean, he looked great the rest of the match, but that one move really just solidified that he was the best in the match. I mean, the man is a genius. He is a technical god. And I really hope we get more of him and Finn working together, because this match was great, and give them more opponents and they'll really turn it into something magical. But I have to pick a wrestler of the night out of all of them, and this might be the toughest night that I've had, because I legit don't know any one person who it should be. I don't know anyone. Everyone deserves it in their own right except Tyler Rust. Maybe Bronson Reed too. I don't think Nash Carter should get it. And I don't think Leon Ruff should get it. So that brings it down to Raquel and Kyle. And I think based on performances, I want to give it to Kyle. Do you agree? Okay. Perfect.
I think if the match with Raquel had been a little bit longer, maybe. Yeah. It wasn't long enough.
We did see a different Raquel, though, and I hope that's a good sign for the future that we'll see an even more impressive Raquel later on. All right. Yeah. So, match of the night. We started off with Killian, Dain, and Drake Maverick versus MSK. This was a very entertaining match. You had MSK, who are high flyers, and Killian and Drake, who are an excellent team in and of themselves. MSK are also a great tag team, but Killian and Drake have just this incredible chemistry that they've worked on over the course of time, and the way that they're able to mesh their techniques and styles, it really makes for a very interesting tag team match. I really liked this match. I just wish that it felt like it was all style, no substance, you know? I felt like it was missing something. A little spark. A little something. It has the I can't remember the Powerpuff Girls thing. It has the sugar, spice, and everything nice, but it's missing the secret ingredient. Whatever it was that made them superheroes. I forget the intro.
The ingredient X or something?
Yeah, it was something X. That's what it was missing. It was missing the X. And then we had Aliyah and Jessi Kamea versus, I think it's Jessi Kamea. That's how they were pronouncing it. Jessi Kamea.
It is. I always fuck it up.
Okay. So Aliyah and Jessi Kamea versus Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. I feel like this match had no right being as good as it was. Aliyah and Jessi really knocked it out of the park. Dakota and Raquel's chemistry and their tag history also made this an incredible match. Seeing a different side to Raquel was great, as well as Dakota also giving her a good performance and really complimenting Raquel and her style. This match was really, really great. Surprisingly, I didn't expect much from it because, you know, Aliyah and Jessi are borderline enhancement talent at this point. It sucks for Aliyah because it seems like she's been kind of a mainstay character, but the way they've been booking her, she's basically enhancement talent. Then we had Tyler Russ versus Rios. It was okay. I mean, for an enhancement talent match, it was pretty good. Rios actually put up a fight, but story-wise, this is great. Like, kind of seeing the inner workings of Malcolm Bivens and having this match actually matter in the long run. It was a breath of fresh air in the enhancement talent scene. And then Grizzled Young Vets versus Leon Ruff and Kushida. This was a great match. This was fantastic. Leon Ruff and Kushida giving a banger of a match. Grizzled Young Vets also putting up a great performance. Really giving us something to behold. But also suffering from the Killian and Drake match. Just a little ingredient X was missing. Although Johnny and Austin coming out and beating up Kushida and Leon was kind of the cherry on top to really, make this a Sunday, make this a story, make this fit into the WWE universe, fit into the storyline rather than just being a Dusty Rhodes match. So I do take back what I said about it missing the X, because I think this had it. Then we had Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Bronson Reed. It was okay. It was alright. Bronson was great. Swerve, I don't know what the fuck is going on with Swerve. He's just going off the deep end. I don't know.
Dude.
But not to say he's giving bad performances or anything, because he's still a great wrestler and great at selling moves. But I don't know. There's just something about his character and story now that's throwing me for a loop. And lastly, we had Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor versus Oney, Lorcan, and Danny Burch. This was a fantastic match. This was in every way possible. Kyle and Finn were putting their hearts into this. Oney and Danny giving a great performance as well. Kind of seeming scared too. They seemed a little wary of the situation because they're dealing with two of the best wrestlers in NXT right now. And they seemed kind of out of it. But then with the appearance of Pete and then the rest of the Undisputed Era, we're kind of left with a bow on top and a way to push this into the future and give it somewhere to go. But I do think this match should have been longer. I think we should have had a little more. I think it ended a little soon. Especially given that this is the tag team champions and the NXT champion and the last NXT champion challenger. I think there should have been a little more. But with that said, I have to give a winner. And I don't think you will agree, but I am going to give it to Grizzled Young Vets versus Leon Ruff and Kushida.
At first when you said that, I didn't think I'd agree. But at the same time, I think my runner-up would at least be Finn versus Oney and Danny, but that match did annoy me because the frequent tags, which I understand is like the sign of a good tag team, but like personally, I prefer when like you do something and then tag out as opposed to just like punching somebody once and then being like, that's good. The next guy in.
Yeah.
Because I guess like the whole thing is like when you're proving that you're a good tag team, it's like frequent tagging in and out, constantly having a fresh member. I get like kind of tired of it because it's like, well, I've just watched you tag in and out 14 times and you've just been punching a guy in a corner. And I know y'all are much more capable than that. So
yeah.
I think I'm going to go with you. I really like this as far as a tag team match is concerned. I thought that this was really good. I didn't know who was going to fucking win it for most part. And dude, Grizzled young vets, they come out there, they fucking talk shit, and then they prove that they should be talking shit. And I'm always like, all right, boys, keep it up.
And then also,
I agree.
Giving it the space to move forward by having Johnny and Austin appear, plus Dexter Lumis, I think, like I said, it ties it into the storylines at large and gives it an actual purpose.
I agree.
All right. So to run it back, our promo of the... What?
I was just going to say, it gives us a good place to go after Kushida and Liam were kicked out.
Yeah, it does. It gives more opportunities for matches that aren't just Dusty Rhodes classic matches.
Yeah.
But our promo of the night, Angry Regal. Our wrestler of the night, Kyle O'Reilly. And our match of the night, Grizzled Young Veterans versus Leon Ruff and Kushida. Our first episode in a while where our wrestler of the night isn't from the match of the night.
I think what I'd love is Kushida is such a ray of positive, or not Kushida, sorry. Leon is such a ray of positivity. I would love for him to just be like, yeah, I think Dexter's a really nice guy. And for Dexter to just be like,
no, you know for a fact it would be Leon saying, oh, Dexter, your art is like really good. Like, you should become like a professional artist.
and just Dexter being there like, still crazy-eyed, but like,
gives him a hug. Just hugs him a little too tight.
Doesn't know what to do with the arms, but then he's like...
But he's so skinny, he like crushes him.
That's his head.
He could be the new Dream to Dexter Lumis.
Except, like, actually a friend and not just using him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have one request.
You know, Dexter Lumis will always, like, really just excite me. Just because the fact that he's considered a face, but looking at him and watching him wrestle, he does not look like a face.
He looks like a mean man.
He does. He looks like an angry Nazi. We thought he was a Nazi when we first saw him. Don't even try and deny it.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, we are closing out this 100th episode, which means I need to start talking.
Oh no.
Fucking ass.
If you can.
I hate Tanqueray so much. Oh my god.
Tanqueray is only good when it's mixed with a lot of stuff.
Tanqueray is literally never good. Tanqueray is like one of those gin brands that's like really touted as like top tier. And then you drink and you're like...
It's like Ciroc. I hate Ciroc so much.
I ordered Tanqueray Malarca or Mayarca.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 2 L's. I don't know. I'm white. Give me a pass. But I ordered that because I looked it up. It was the first time I'd ever seen it on Drizzly, and I looked it up and I was like, I read a lot of reviews that were like, it's rarely on the shelves at any liquor store, so if you find it, you know, try it, because you probably won't be able to for a while. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. It was pretty cheap, too. And then the liquor store that I ordered it from didn't have it, so they just gave me Tanqueray, and I was like, I'd have ordered fucking Hendrix, but okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I might just order a bottle of that Hendrix once I get paid, because I'm not making it through this Tanqueray anytime fucking soon.
Mm-hmm.
Plus it's 1 liter of it, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit much.
That is a lot.
Yeah. Anyways, so if you tuned in tonight, thank you. If you're tuning in the future, thank you. I just want to take this moment to say thank you, because after 100 episodes, it's kind of fucking insane that it's been 100 fucking episodes. and Rhea Ripley liked one of our tweets, which is more than I need.
Also, don't forget Grand Metalik and Lindsay Dorado.
Lindsay Dorado, I will only accept his like for our tweet if he takes that fucking mask off. Just for me. Just send me one pic, dude. I just want to know if you're hot.
Lindsay, we accept your like whether you take your mask off or not.
It's true. Fine. Yeah, it's just been really nice to have this podcast because we basically started as like a way to not be stuck in the middle of a pandemic, and I don't know, man. I'm really happy that we made it this far. I'm really shocked that we made it this far, and at least I have shit to look forward to. On Mondays, I don't look forward to Monday podcasts. Sorry, I'll be honest with everybody. I don't look forward to those podcasts at all, unless like I have nothing else going on Tuesday. If I've got nothing going on Tuesday, I'm just like, woo, let's chat. So hopefully I'll be able to have that energy going into Sunday, but we'll see. But it's a nice way to break up the week. It's a nice way to just exhaust ourselves by talking, which I personally need most times. But yeah, I'm just really happy that we've made it this far. I'm really happy that we've made friends along the way. And I will be bringing back the promo show. I forgot about it entirely.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about it too.
I'm going to work on bringing it back for February. But bear with me.
Alright, so thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, hit that follow button down below. Or if you're watching on YouTube, ideally you're watching this on YouTube, I hope it goes up, please. John, get to work on putting it on YouTube ASAP.
John, I swear to God.
Alright, be nice to John.
John's rebellious.
If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. On both platforms, hit the subscribe button. You know what? Yeah, do that. If you have ideas for the wheel, leave them in the suggestion box down below. If you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, leave them in the comments. Let us know what you want to see in the wheel. Let us know what punishments, what rewards you want to give us, or you want us to give each other. It's fun. And follow us on Twitter at Pinfall Podcast. On YouTube, it's the Pinfall Podcast. We'll be changing the logo very soon. And follow our personal Twitters. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23. And don't forget to check out the Universal Pokemon Federation on YouTube. We have episode 3 up. Full episode 3. Which is I believe that's Dawn's title acceptance ceremony. And then episode 4 will be coming out very soon, which will be me battling Weeby for a chance to battle Dawn for the UPF World Championship. But yep, don't forget to check that out. And I'll see you all on Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you then. And good night, Rhea Ripley.